Before Bilbo Baggins would go on his unexpected journey, before he would find the ring hidden within the temples of Gollum, before the desolation of Smaug and the battle of the Five Armies, long before the Lord of the Rings would draw on an epic quest, and before Frodo Baggins would get rid of the ring for good and destroying the power, restoring peace and prosperity to the world. Long before any of that, there was a tale of a girl who became a warrior, who thus became a hero to her own people, who rescued them from a fate lesser known. Although her father wanted her not to go along with this adventure or with these tales, she became such a warrior in her own right, as she became one of the most fiercest warriors in the world. Also, probably one of the better heroes. But there was no song, there was no story about her telling. That is, until today. Greetings, geeks and nerds, I'm Lady Universe and White Unity, and yes, we're taking a look at Lord of the Rings, War of Rohirrim. I think that's how you pronounce it. They say it as Rohirrim in the anime here, so I don't know if that's the actual pronunciation. But Lord of the Rings, War of either Rohirrim or Rohirrim, whatever that your pronunciation is. This was a brand new Lord of the Rings film that came to us from Peter Jackson and acclaimed anime director Kenji Kamiyama. And if you don't think that this film is gorgeous, just wait until you see this review, because even I was kind of skeptical the first time I saw the trailer on YouTube and also on TV that it would be in places to theaters. I'm like, really? And anime Lord of the Rings? But, going back, and I haven't seen the full Lord of the Rings trilogy, but I love the Hobbit trilogy to pieces, and it's like, I was kind of skeptical and being like, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from this, but until, I actually bought this myself and actually had it wrapped up for, Christmas of last year, I was like, what the heck, especially since, a friend of mine, when she saw it with her husband, she was like, it's pretty damn decent. So I'm like, all right, I will, just check it out in its entirety. And so here we are, Lord of the Rings, War of Rohirrim, which is directed by, again, anime acclaimed director Kenji Kamiyama. So, is this going to be pretty damn decent, and does this measure up to Peter Jackson's legend? Well, I would be one to say, yes, but I do have some problems with this film, but we'll discuss them as the review goes on. Yes, I know, I'm wearing a Doctor Strange shirt while talking about Lord of the Rings. Look, I don't come prepared for this. This was just the best thing that I could think of. I like Doctor Strange in the MCU. I have a sexy Benedict Cumberbatch on my chest. Just don't question what's good here, man. Just go with the punches, So as such, let's dive into Lord of the Rings War of Rohirrim and see what happened long before the adventures of Bilbo and Frodo Baggins. So, let's dive into it and see what happened with the War of Rohirrim. Our journey takes us to a peaceful place known as Ron, a world where, well, everything has basically been pretty good, and we meet our main character, Helga. Helga is the only daughter of King Helm Hammerhead, and of course he likes to keep her safe because, well, she is his only daughter, and of course she had more prosperity than actually she thinks she does. Her father kind of ruled with an iron fist, but at least he understands with the fist of the people, that he understands what the people need, and he puts his people well before himself, which is great. However, in comes the forces from Duringer, was it Wolf and his father, who wants to basically take the world away from King Hammerfist. Not only that, but Wolf has eyes for Helga. He always has since they were children, and yet he wants to marry her, make her his queen. But Helga has other plans. And so King Hammerhead and Wolf's father get into a fist fight, a fisticuff, as, yes, King Hammerhead killed Wolf's father with a single punch.
One punch! One punch!
Watching his father die, Wolf swears revenge against King Hammerhead. Hammerfist, and thus takes her off into the night, into the woods. Out investigating with some other people, Helga notices that something's not quite right. The crows are cavorting around, and something smells foul in the air. It seems that there's a mad virus going across the land which causes the giant elephant, no, I don't know its name, and no, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, basically to attack the remaining group. During the adventures, Helga is kidnapped and captured. Why, and what for? Well, it turns out that Helga had been brought to someone for a peace offering. Yep, Wolf kidnapped her, then basically made her a peace offering. What kind of peace offering? Well, this one.
It's Rohan and Gondor.
Your father will never ask for help from Gondor. His pride will not allow it. What the fuck are you out of your damn mind?
Yes, Wolfie gives Hera, sorry I called her Helga, my apologies, a choice to marry him or their basic countries will go to war. Hera tells her father of these plans, and her father can't believe that Wolf would go to such limits, basically just to avenge his father after the unfortunate incident that happened. But the king is like, if it's a war he wants, it's a war he shall have, as Hera wants to help out, but her father tells her no, for her own safety, of course. As for the people of Hammerhelm, their world burned down to the ground. Everything had been lost. Wolf went on a rampage and destroyed everything. So the people decided to move to a more peaceful mining, of course, where they basically can remain hidden and far away from the clutches of Wolf, or so they think. As Wolf fucking follows them, captures Hera's brother, and gives the king an option to fight him or he kills his son. Even Wolf's right-hand man is like, dude, you have problems. Why in the world are you doing this? The king is injured. Just go and kill him. But Wolf doesn't want that. As the king, possessed by rage, vengeance, hate, starts to take on the original form of a ring race as like a zombie fighter and kills Wolf's men. Also, King Hammerhelm is a fucking badass. This dude goes toe-to-toe with fucking anything and just obliterates it in its path with his bare hands. Eventually, the king learns what he'd done, the path of vengeance that he took, and he began to feel sick, that he's taken so many lives and he doesn't know what to do about it. As he decides to be a king once more, stand up for his people, stand up for what they need, and become a true king and a hero to them all. As King Hammerfist won, he destroyed the oncoming forces, but at a cost, he froze to death right there in front of the door, posing with his fist in the air. I'm not dead, but I would appreciate something warm, please. Anyone? I'm deathly frozen and very, very, very cold. Some hot chocolate, coffee, a warm blanket, a fire, anything? Someone? Hello? As Wolf's right-hand man tells him, you won! The king's frozen to death! He's a kingsicle! You won! We can leave! But Wolf still wants revenge for his daddy. Why? I don't know, I guess he wants to make his father proud of him or something. The movie doesn't explain. As Hera knows that Wolf won't stop. The king didn't die for nothing, and she must do everything in her power to avenge her king, to avenge her father. As Hera takes on the mantle of what she needed to be, calling upon her eagle friend as well to give him a helping hand, and also her cousin disguised as her father just to give fear right into their hearts. Yeah, I'm not too far off with that quote because everybody basically rallied to the king, as Hera and Wolf have their final standoff, and Wolf's army runs away because they're afraid of the zombie king. But it seems like Wolf surrendered. He basically gave up to Hera. He knows when he is defeated. Yeah, that doesn't happen. So, mister, I have to avenge my daddy! Tries to fight against Hera, and of course Hera is pretty badass and holds her own and manages to defeat Wolf. As the kingdom is being rebuilt, Hera restores her father's legacy, and for the most part she's pretty proud of herself. Even though she doesn't become queen, she hands over the title to her own cousin. As even her cousin kind of points out, like, it's pretty weird that you wouldn't become the queen, as Hera says it's not my responsibility, but now yours, so do what you can for the people. As Hera and her fellow shield warrior, no, I forgot her name, said that they're going on a journey to meet up with a wizard to tell him about the magical rings that she noticed that some goblins had, ending our movie. A wizard about a magical ring. Nope, can't think of any movie that this would basically be a part of. And so that was Lord of the Rings War of Rohirrim, and do I like it? Actually, yeah, but there are some problems I have with it despite how much I liked it. Not only is it beautifully animated and the voice cast is really well hand-picked and hand-chosen, it's kind of, in a sense, a little bit that it juggled with too much, and mostly it tried to focus on Hera and pushing Wolf off to the side, who's a character that we actually should know more about. Why does Wolf want revenge on his father? You kids can't say that he wants revenge on his father for no good reason. He had to have a reason. And he kind of goes mentally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs a little bit after his father died. So what exactly was the point of that? If we had an answer to that, then that would have been helpful. But mostly Wolf just wants revenge for his father dying, and he hates the king because he thinks the king killed his father. But is that necessarily the truth, or did his father, like, for example, eat something poisonous or venomous, and when the king punched him right in the face, he just ended up dying? We don't really know what happened. As I kind of wish that we got to know Wolf more, because he's an interesting character. He really is, and his descent into madness is pretty damn decent. But I wish that the film handled it and tweaked it in just a bit better. It's not bad, far from it. It is a beautifully animated movie, and a really damn good anime one at that. And I've always said that Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit should be an anime because magical anime just sells like hotcakes, in Japan, and this is definitely a good example of how to do it. Do I think that there would be another Lord of the Rings, like, prequel movie? Probably not, but for what we got, it's really damn decent and it holds up on its own, despite the problems with the main villain, like they have. He has no explanation into why he just goes off on a rampage because I need to avenge my daddy! Or something. Who really knows, truthfully. But I really did like Lord of the Rings War of Rohirrim despite that one little thing. I still did like it. It's a beautifully animated masterpiece, and you should go and check it out if you can. And you can buy it pretty cheap too. I also played in select theaters way back in 2024, 2025, whenever that was released, I forget. I don't remember. But still pretty damn decent. So, my Funko Pop rating of Lord of the Rings War of Rohirrim is, well, it pretty much right above my expectation, and it was really damn worth every price that I paid for this. So I'm gonna give Lord of the Rings, or TLO, no, it would be LOTR, right? Well, I'm just gonna give War of Rohirrim the honorable Funko Pop rating of an Aquaman because it ranked above my expectations and it was nothing short of outrageous. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified every single time I can upload. And follow me on Twitter with the link in the description down below in case you want to follow me, see what I'm talking about, or see behind the scenes stuff, whatever have you, or just plain talk to me. You can follow me at the link right in the description down below. Also, if you like the channel and you want to help it, support it grow, whatever, then be sure to share this video around the web. Hit that like button, hit that bell icon to never miss a single upload, and let me know what you thought about Lord of the Rings War of Rohirrim in the comments down below if you have seen it. Also, what is your preference? Do you prefer the Lord of the Rings films, or do you prefer the Hobbit films? Let me know in the comments down below, as I'm eager to see what everybody basically had to say. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm just waiting for a bunch of comments to come under the video and be like, "Holy crap! He knows Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit?" You'd be surprised. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I believe you never type right nerdy keep it on. Be sure to check out Lord of the Rings War of Rohirrim and wherever that you can. Be sure to watch either and tell me if I can't speak. And tell me which one you prefer. Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. Let me know in the comments down below. So guys, thank you as always very much for watching. I believe you never type right nerdy keep it on. And until next time, as always, take care.